Welcome back to Black Motherhood Unspoken, where we have honest conversations about the parts of motherhood people don't always talk about. Today's episode is very personal for me because I'm joined here with my daughter, Kylie. Kylie is 18 now, and I want to have a conversation and get Kylie's perspective of being raised by me. I was a teen mom. I had Kylie at 16. So I kind of want to get her feedback, her perspective of what was it like being raised by a kid. If we're being honest, I was a kid when I had Kylie. Hey, Kylie.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for coming and talking with my audience.
You're welcome.
Y'all know these teenagers don't be wanna, what's the word? Cooperate.
That is the word.
So it wasn't pulling teeth getting her here, but it wasn't easy. I'll say that. But I thank you for being here with me today, pretty girl. Okay, so let's get into segment one, growing up with a young mom. What was one of your earliest memories of me being your mom?
Um, I would say one. Obviously, you were very present. I mean, you could have banned me, but you didn't. I mean,
So when you say abandoning,
because obviously you were in my life. I have a very supportive family, so everybody was there. So it was never like that. I was ever curious or anything, or ever really needed to wonder because you were always there. I remember how you used to come have lunch with me sometimes at elementary too. So you were very present.
did you ever get the roles mixed up? Did you ever think that Jenny Pooh was mom and I was like a big sister?
No.
Do you remember? You probably don't remember. You were a kid. I remember we lived with Jenny Pooh, right? 16 with a kid. We had Jenny Pooh house, and me and TT would call Jenny Pooh Mama. So you started calling her Mama, and I was like, we got to stop this. We got to break this right now. And so I think after I saw you do that, I was like, hey, I'm mom. That's grandma. And shortly after, we moved out. Do you remember when we moved out?
I remember some of the apartments that we used to stay in. I feel like that only happened because of how I was surrounded by family and people that I knew, people that I knew that were there for me. I feel like that's maybe how that might have happened. But if I was little, I probably didn't know. It might have affected you on how you feel, but I
So you
don't think
don't.
it was just because of how I had a support system and people were around me. I know everybody's name. Everybody got a different name now. But I think that was the only reason why that might have happened.
I did have a great support system with you. I can say like I didn't like anything. Mom, dad, TT, um, Anchor, Nene, everybody literally band together, and you were literally the village's baby. Um, did you ever realize growing up that I was a young mom?
Um, Not really. I mean, yes, I know that you obviously a young mom at 16, 17, you growing up. I didn't really see that because to me, I mean, it's just you're my mom. But things that did make it noticeable, and people always when you come around be like, "Wow, is that your mom? She's so young. How old is she?" And they get so shocked. And that's a question I get asked a lot. People notice how young you are and stuff.
You still get asked that question a
I
lot.
still do.
When I
So
come to the school, people are like, "That's your mom?" Like, dang. What they say? What they say? What the kids say when I came to your little wrestling thing? They was like, "Is that your mom?"
one kid said that you were bad.
I was a baddie. You do have a hot mom, but having you at 16, it was not. It was bad then. It looked bad, but now that like I'm 35 and you're 18, it wasn't that bad. I'm able to keep up with you. I'm able to. I don't want to say be all in your business, but I be in your business. Like, what you doing? Where you going? Where this at? Like, I can. I think by the time Kobe gets your age, I'll be tired.
Exactly, which is sad because
I'm gonna need you and your sister help to be in his business because I'm gonna be older. But now that I'm just 35 and you 18 and Chloe is 14, I'm able to be like, what y'all doing? Where y'all going? What time? Yeah. What do you remember about our early years together?
um,
Our early years together.
I say that I feel like looking back on pictures, I feel like we were out a lot,
Yes.
doing a lot of stuff. Like I said, I remember some of the apartments that we used to stay in. I don't don't know where I was at, but I remember the ones that were not the white brick ones, but the red brick ones, apartments, or whatever. When we were over there in that apartment, I remember one night I ended up crying. I think those landlords came in or something. I don't know. I ended up having to. They ended up checking my room because I was in there crying or something, saying that I was missing Jenny Pooh. Probably don't
No,
remember.
that's when you were 3. That's when we stayed in John's rent house. That I remember that.
No, man, I don't know.
You were 3. That was our very first time being out on our own. And I remember it was maybe the first night in the house, and you were crying, and I said, "What's wrong with you?" And you said, "I want to go home.
That's a
I
different.
miss Jenny
That's
Pooh."
a
And
different
I,
memory for you.
okay,
I'm being for it was at them apartments because a lot of stuff had including with Chloe because she would be doing that sleepwalking stuff,
girl, I don't know. We
throwing them toys everywhere.
All I know is I moved out maybe at 18, 19, and we were just gone. I do remember us being on the go a lot. I do remember us spending a lot of time in Memphis. We stayed at the Memphis Zoo. I remember taking you all to SeaWorld when we went to San Antonio. Um, we've been to Houston. We've been somewhere everywhere, just about. And if I don't take y'all, y'all go with Papa Heat and Princess Jasmine. So we were definitely out and about. Looking back now at 18, what do you think I did well, even though I was a young mom?
Obviously times are different and everything is very expensive now, but I would say the way that you were able to move out and manage and just work is very good. If things were so expensive, I would be trying to do that now too, but just being able to move out, just work, manage money, even though it maybe wasn't easy because it ain't easy for me.
Did I make it
But
look easy?
um, I mean, maybe as a kid I didn't pay too close attention, but now I know everything. Like times are hard, but it's the fact that you still show up and try to
Yeah.
work hard is what matters. So nothing is easy, but you still showed up and did what you had to do, so that's good.
I also think now that you're 18, we have more honest conversations because I think you're able to handle them knowing that you're getting ready to enter the real world. So, yeah, when you were Kobe's age, 3 through whatever, no, I didn't come to you and tell you, like, hey, I'm dealing with this, X, Y, and Z, this is hard, this is due. But now that you're 18, I'm kind of like pulling you into the adult world saying, hey, look at my bills. This is due on this day, this is due on that day, and I still got to do this for you, this for Chloe, this for Kobe. So now it's kind of like I'm pulling your blinders off a little bit and letting you know, like, this is what the real world is. But yeah, when you were a kid, I didn't bring that to you all's attention because y'all were children. But you're almost on this side of the fence now than the other. Were there moments you realized we were kind of growing up together?
Mm, what do you mean by that? Like
Like,
elaborate.
did you ever realize, like, I'm a kid and my mom's a kid too?
No, I didn't because it's just the thing. Like your mom,
Yeah,
and it's okay to be cool with your mom, but you also let them know that
I'm
I'm
not
not
one of
your
your little
friend.
friends.
So it's never been like that. I mean, if somebody's your mom, I mean, it's just gonna be your mom. I feel like regardless how old they are, because that's the person that just takes care of you. So, no, I
I think
never
I did
was.
pretty good setting those boundaries. Like, even though I was a kid, I think I always let it be known, like, hey, I'm mom. What I say goes. Like, you're going to listen to me. I think I established that early on, and I'm happy I did get those boundaries because now that you all are older, like y'all know, like, hey, that's mama at the end of the day. Mama not a friend. I had to check with my mom. I had to ask my mom, and I like that. I like that I wasn't trying to be y'all's friend. Like, I really took my role, even though I was young. I took my role as being y'all mom serious. I still do. That's something that I wear a badge of honor. Like, having a kid at 16 and overcoming all the things that I've overcame was not easy. And I think honestly that's one of my proudest moments in life is raising you and your sister. And I did it. It was not easy. There were times, yeah, I cried. I made sacrifices, but looking at you now at 18 and looking at her now at 14, like, God was with me. He carried us. And Y'all are my most proudest accomplishment. Forget, yeah, I went to school and got degrees, and yeah, I'm married now, and I'm a homeowner, and I have accolades behind my name as an author. But you and your sister, y'all are my greatest accomplishment. Like y'all really made me into the woman that I am today. Let's talk about the realities of teen and young motherhood. What strengths do you think motherhood brought out of
Um, feel like determination, or for you, like, but just in general, like determination. Um, what else? What was the question again?
what strengths do you think motherhood brought out of me? Like what made me strong? Like
I feel like the most one, I mean, to me, just always watching. I mean, you're always hardworking. I feel like you always work hard, even when I feel like you should rest, or when I feel
oh,
like you just, I don't know. But
girl, don't make me cry.
I'm just, sometimes I wish you would rest. You be at home working and stuff, and I still see you cleaning and doing all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's okay to do that and stuff to get done, but I feel like everybody should rest. But I feel like the most determination, because you already like work hard, and you just you just know what has to be done. So you just do what you have to do to get it done.
I think, and you know what? Thank you for acknowledging that mama worked hard. Um, I don't want to work this hard, but I think of you and your sister and your brother, y'all who I work hard for. And because like I had a full time job at your age. At 18, I was working full time job at a hospital pharmacy, and ever since then, I've always had a full time job, and I've just always thought about the life that my parents provided for me. You know, I was a rich kid, rich and necessarily as no, we didn't have all the money, but my parents made sure that we had everything that we need and then some. I can honestly say I remember going on vacation every year. I remember my dad, he kept us with a bike, he kept us with new tennis shoes. My mom, she kept our hair done. We always had nice clothes. And every summer we was going somewhere. I think I was the only kid I knew that was going to Las Vegas at the age of 11, 12 years old. What is a kid doing in Vegas? It's a lot for a kid to do in Vegas, but you wouldn't know unless you went and you experienced that. So because I saw the lifestyle that Papa Heat and Jenny Pooh provided for me and TT, I'm like, I want to be able to provide that same lifestyle for my kids. No, we don't have everything, but y'all get the majority of
We
everything
don't
that
need
y'all
everything.
want.
We have what we have. We have what we need.
Exactly. And I also feel like I'm so blessed because of the village that I do have. Jenny Pooh, Princess Jasmine, Papa Heat, Robbie, TT, the things that I can't get you all, they come in and they fill the cracks and say, well, Kylie said she wanted this, or Chloe said she wanted that. My Princess Jasmine, my grandbaby ain't got that, I'm getting it. So I'm so thankful for the village that I do have because they're able to help provide the lifestyle. And I work hard for y'all. And one day I am gonna sit back when y'all grown and I got all y'all out and y'all standing and that's when I'm gonna rest.
I hope you do.
That's when I'm going to rest. What do you admire most about my journey now?
Um, I know you said that your main focus and goal was us, but I just the fact that and anybody can do it, but the fact that young and pregnant, but that you also just didn't let yourself give out, like you didn't give up and just let yourself go down. You still went to school, you still went to work, even though you might have had a full time job. It was hard, but it was something that had to be done, and you still did it. You still pushed through, and just also you graduating high school, you graduating college and getting degrees, you writing that book. It's just you being able to still do things. It's just like very, very, very inspiring. I feel like it's very good that you just continue to grow and not stop and just continue to thrive.
And you know, that's my hope for you and your sister. Like to look at me and be like, wow, mama did it as a single parent with me and Chloe as a teenager. There's no excuses for me. Not saying that I want you all to follow in my footsteps, but I want you all to push yourselves. And if you want to do something, do it. Make a plan. Reach some goals. And after you're done reaching those goals, set some more goals and just continue to be motivated, and whatever you say you're gonna do, follow through with it. That's my hope for you and your sister. Let's talk about sisterhood and intentional family. What was it like growing up with your sister in your life? Talking about Kelsey. So Kylie has a sister on her dad's side, and their dad, he is absent due to incarceration. And when I found out how long he was going to be incarcerated, I told the other child's mom, like, it's up to me and you to make sure that our daughters stay connected as sisters. And I think that's very important. I think that we as women, especially black women, we have a stigma of not being able to get along with the other child's mom. Like, there's baby mama drama. I hate that word. But, like, there's baby mama drama. And I'm proud to say that me and her has never had any drama since day one. We've always put Kylie and Kelsey first. And I thought it was important for you and Kelsey to have a relationship, knowing that the main parent that was supposed to be there to make that connection was not. I felt the responsibility like, hey, everybody needs, especially a sister, if you know a sister, like my sister is a best friend to me. And so, what was it like growing up with Kelsey in your life?
Um, I definitely remember getting Kelsey from when she was very like a baby. I feel like if you never wouldn't have introduced us or made it a priority for us to get to know each other, I would probably wonder, but it probably wouldn't be on the top of my mind because what more could I do? I mean, if I were my age now, then maybe I would probably try to reach out, but it probably wouldn't like be on my top mind. So I feel like it is important, and I'm glad that you did get us together, and we still get Kelsey to this
To this
day.
day.
And so I feel like that's very good. It's just
We've had Kelsey since she was 6 months. Kelsey
eight,
is Kelsey
eight,
is
eight,
no,
nine.
no. Kelsey is like 10, 11. Kelsey
She's
just
not
had a
11.
birthday.
She probably
She's okay. Well, she's 10. We've been getting Kelsey since she was 6 months, and Kelsey is 10. Kelsey do vacations with us. We do sleepovers, birthday parties. Kelsey is a part of the family. She's my baby. She's the kid that I did not birth, but she is definitely a part of this family. It was not easy when we first got her because she didn't know us at 6 months. So she cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. But I was determined to work with that sister. And now that we are where we are with Kelsey, Kelsey will pick the phone up in a minute and be like, Shelby, what y'all doing this weekend? Shelby, can I come to your house? Shelby, what y'all got going on? And me and her mama will work something out if I gotta go pick her up or she get dropped off and Kelsey be ours for the weekend. But I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I'm happy that you're growing up and you're going through life with your sister, having a relationship with her, like you said, instead of wondering what it would be like. So you don't have to wonder. How important was it for you to know her despite the circumstances?
um. I guess since we got introduced at such a young age, and since Kelsey was like still a baby, I mean, it was just like it's like any other regular relationship. Like if me and Chloe would have grown up, since I just got introduced to her and I was still young, she was still a baby. Nothing was ever awkward. I just always known Kelsey, so just it's pretty normal to me.
It's normal to you because we introduced y'all so young to where what you were like, oh my gosh, you were like 4 or 5 when we first got Kelsey. So it was just like, oh, I'm a big sister again because we had already had Chloe. Let's talk about our blended family dynamics from the childhood perspective, meaning from your perspective. What do you think children need most in complicated family situations? Because we have a lot of blended families going on. If you think about it, Kelsey is a part of our blended family. Then we have our own blended family because Robbie and Christiana, that's blended. And then you also have to think about Papa Heat and Princess Jasmine. And then we got, Cameron and AJ. Like, we're blended all the way around.
Well, for the blended part, I feel like just making sure that everybody is on one accord, making sure that everybody can get along together. And luckily, everybody that we do know and everybody that is in our family, it's not a hassle at all. It genuinely feels like family. So nothing is like really forced, but I feel just like being able to have that connection. And like obviously before Papa White and Princess Jasmine were to get married, just making sure like in between that time before they did get married, to make sure that everybody can function and be comfortable around each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's important because you don't want to have tension, because then that's just terrible. So,
But we have had tension within our blended family. That was not easy, but I can't say I don't think it was from us, this party. It was from the other party. But for me, just speaking, I think that was a strain. I felt like um, it was tension when Chrissy would come over because we're like, oh, here we go. We don't know how this weekend gonna go. We don't know
yeah,
what the other side of the family gonna try to plot or try to say. And y'all were kids at that time, and I tried not to let that affect you all. Um, how did that feel? Like that perspective of a blended
it
family?
was only, I wouldn't say it was really stressful. It was just kind of unfortunate in that moment because she was still a kid, and then the people, nothing against them, but you can't help how other people act in their actions. And then the fact that it was just affecting y'all, and I wish it really did it. Although it was nothing really much we could do but to try to be calm. But if nobody wants to accept it, then it's really nothing much you can do. But the fact that it did stress y'all out, and I noticed, and it kind of just sucked because I feel like it didn't have to be that hard. It shouldn't have to be that hard. It was just, like I said, it's just kind of unfortunate because I kind of wish that it wasn't that much
Yeah,
tension for you and Christiana, because at the end of the day, everybody's just a person and everybody just needs grace.
and that's
Like I
coming from an
said,
18-year-old. It shouldn't be that hard. I feel like when it comes to a blended family, it's the adult's job, like you said, to be on one accord
just try to
and
try.
to communicate. I think that's our job as parents. And it does. It can trickle down and affect the kids. Like sometimes y'all did notice, like, there's tension in the house. And it is unfortunate. I wish things were differently, but with prayer and with time, she'll be old enough to make her own decisions, and we can repair that relationship if she would like to. How important is peace and maturity between adults when y'all are involved, when kids are involved? Like, how would you feel if all you heard was fighting and bickering every single day? Like,
Yeah.
could you be in this type of environment if that's something that happened every day?
No, but unfortunately, it might be somebody's life where they got no choice but to stay. So I just, I pray for people like that because it really does suck. It does, and it has a toll on somebody's mental and physical. Because that, who wants to listen to that all the time? Because I don't like listening to that all the time. If it were up to me, I would listen to cupcakes, rainbows, and unicorns all day.
You would what?
Listen to cupcakes, rainbows, and unicorns all day. Nothing but sunshine.
Y'all, this is my love child. This baby, she is the child that never really gets upset. I could be, Kylie, clean up. Kylie, do this. Kylie gonna stroll. She not gonna go to a fast pace. She gonna beat to her own drum. She gonna, I'm trying. I'm doing it as fast, as best as.
I feel like it
I've never really seen you upset.
because I don't like to be upset. I don't. That's not what I thrive to be. I thrive to try to be happy and joyful as much as possible. And going back to that thing, it's just like it's just hard. It's
You
just
don't ever get upset. Even Kobe don't even upset you. Like even when you telling him to get out your room, you be like, please move.
now I will say, like I said, that's not what I thought to be. There are times where I might get upset a little bit, but I don't want to let that take control over me.
You
That's
don't.
that's what I don't want to do.
That's one page I
I
need to take
just
out your book. Is not to let things take
I just feel
over
like
me.
it don't take all of that. Just let's just ride a thing kumbaya.
Y'all, real story, real talk. I remember one morning I was rushing for work, and I was like, Kylie, hurry up! You're not moving fast enough. We're getting ready to be late. And in the midst of me yelling at her and rushing, I hurt myself. I think I ran into something and I hurt myself. And Kylie was like, "See, that's why I take my time."
And I didn't say it to be like
She didn't.
I
She
was
didn't
saying
say
it
it
to
to
be
be
like
smart.
it's okay to calm down. If you late, you already late. What more can we do? I'll be stressing myself out when I go to
But
work.
that made me so mad when you said that.
I just
This baby, she not
you
rushing
just
for
need to
nobody.
just take a break. Count to 10, though.
She's not gonna rush for anybody. I am so eager to see how you're going to move once you're going, like once you move out. I'm so eager to see you be on time for things. I'm so eager to see how you're going to be prepared and equipped because like you just move to your own beat and I'm just so eager to see how this is gonna play out for you. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think you got it. But I'm just so
I don't
excited.
do it to just. It's just how I function. Everybody brain works differently. I wish I could be as fast paced and going and just doing this, doing that. Sometimes I feel like I need that sometimes, and I see that in you. But me, I just if it happened, it happened. Like I mean,
Even when we be out at the grocery store or anywhere, you be like, Mama, why you walking so fast? Where are we
just
going?
be going. I don't want to fall and hurt myself.
I hurt myself. I fell today in the
You
park.
gotta stop. You gotta slow down. Just slow down. Slow down.
I have somewhere to be, girl. Let's talk about emotional reflection. Looking back now, what are you most grateful for about your upbringing?
I would definitely say my family and my community. Each person has helped me to grow and to become a person that I am. Each person has taught me something different that I can take in. So most definitely my family. I would say I'm
Oh,
grateful for my upcoming. And even though it wasn't perfect and not everybody has a lavish life, I feel like it's the things that in the actions, well, the things that you do in that lifetime to get up to where you are that affect you.
what about my parenting style? Like, how would you rate it on a scale from 1 to 10? Like, do you think I'm hard? That's 10. Do you think like I'm moderate on y'all? That's
I
a
would
5,
say an 8.
an 8.
I would say
Why you say an 8?
I feel like sometimes don't you are a good parent. I respect the things that you do, and I wouldn't say it in a bad way. I just feel like sometimes maybe things could be seen a different way. But I mean, if that's what you think, it's just what you think. And at the end of the day, you're the parent, so it's nothing much I can really do but just to respect that. But sometimes I feel like you be stressing out when you be parenting us sometimes, and that's why I say I feel like you don't take all of that. I'm just
Wait,
like,
I
okay.
stress y'all out?
No, I feel like you stress yourself out sometimes.
Girl, because it's like I really do, but I'm learning to let go because reality is you're 18. This is it. And either you have all the tools that I've given you to survive in life and you've listened to me, or you have not.
I assure you, as much as the teaching you've done, I've got something.
I hope so.
Got something.
And so, what's going to be a telltale sign is when, like I said, you're gone and everything is on Kylie. And so, I also have to remember too, I have to extend grace to y'all because I had you at 16 and had Chloe at 19. So guess what? I had to hurry up and put my big girl panties on, and I didn't have time for like room and error or to figure things out. I am a fixer. Kylie needs this. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get it by this day. Chloe needs this. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get it. That's where my mind was at your age. So I also have to remind myself to keep myself from stressing out. Like you think my struggles are not y'all struggles. Y'all are true kids. You're your average 18-year-old. Chloe is the average 14-year-old. Y'all have room for trial and error. Me, not so much. I was a mama. So I had other people depending on me. So that's why in my mind, I'm like, what's wrong with my kids? What's not clicking? What they not getting? But at the same time, y'all didn't have the same lifestyle I had. You have room to be a little,
Just know
have
that
your off moment.
I try.
You do
Not
good.
one of these slow people.
You do good. You do good. What would you say to young moms trying to figure it out? What would you say to other moms that have their kids at the age I had you just trying to figure it out?
I just say to don't give up. Just get Jesus and don't give up because anything is hard. I know. Look, getting flashbacks and taking care of that baby for that special ed class. Just even if you're tired, just keep pushing through and ask God for strength. And just it's gonna be brighter days. It's gonna be better. Nothing hard lasts forever at all. Not as it won't last as long as you think. Just try to keep a straight head and just enjoy time with your baby and just watch it, both of y'all grow.
You grew up so fast. I can't believe we're here. I remember first day of kindergarten. I remember last day of fifth grade. I just remember so many different milestones. And when I look back, I'm like, where has the time gone? It's like it just sped up on me real fast. And that baby, that special ed baby that you brought home, that baby cried more than a real baby. A real baby didn't even cry that much. That thing was getting on everybody's nerves.
I made it work.
It was
It got turned
terrible.
back when it was time to turn it back.
It was terrible. What would you say to children being raised by young mothers?
Obviously, if they're little, they can't help it, but I would say give them grace. But like as like the child gets older, I would just say grace and empathy, sympathy for the parent because at the end of the day, when I just look at you, I just think you're genuinely you're just another person.
I'm just a girl.
Everybody is their own person. Everybody is their individual person. So I just try to just have empathy for you, just anybody in general.
And you know what? You're wise. I say this next generation coming up, they're so full of wisdom because how you just said to give grace. I'm just now, that's just now clicking for me in my 30s. Like, now that I'm raising you and your sister as teenagers, and it's kind of a little bit more challenging because, like, we kind of clash sometimes because y'all think y'all got all the answers, and I'm like, girl, I'm trying to help you. And so I'm like, but I did the same thing with my parents, and they were just people, like I'm just people just trying to figure it out the best way they could. And I wish at your age, at 18, I would have been thinking like, okay, extend my parents some grace because this is their first time parenting. And the oldest child, you're the oldest child. The oldest child is always going to be the guinea pig baby. Meaning you're the one we test everything out on. Mom, can I go to a sleepover? I don't know. You're my only kiddo. Don't know how this is going to be. Don't know how this is going to go. Mom, can I X, Y, and Z? Like you're the first one. You're the first one to drive. You're the first one to work. You're the first one that has some type of sense of independence. So it's kind of like I'm getting my feet wet. So the goal for me is to become better and evolve with each kid.
Yeah, and I'm
Like,
glad that we've gotten up to the point where we are. I'm glad that I can hang out with friends.
yeah.
I'm glad that I am able to work and that you allow me to work. I'm very grateful for my car and the help that I got for it. And it's just happening.
But I also like that we communicate. We do have an open line of communication, especially with you hanging out with friends and driving. Like you just can't hop in the car and be like, I'm gonna be back. It don't work like that. So we do have an open line communication, and we also have a arrival and departure system in place. Mom, I've made it. Mom, I'm leaving. And I track your location, and it's not to be nosy. It's just there's so much going on in the world, and I express to the girls all the time. Like there's sex trafficking, there's